My Honda generator starts but only runs about 20 to 30 seconds, then shuts down immediately.
Do you have fuel in the tank? If so, is the shut-off valve open and the fuel clean?
I have replaced the fuel a couple of times and cleaned the fuel filter.
Do you plan on doing the work yourself?
I would like to.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
I've changed the oil, air filter, and spark plug too. The Honda generator model is the EG4000CL.
Sounds like a clogged carb jet. Do you have a can of carb cleaner? Will engine start right back up?
I took the carb off the engine and sprayed it with carb cleaner, then put it back together. Same results.
Will engine start right back? Choke or prime system?
The engine can be started back up but only runs for 5 to 10 seconds, then just shuts down. It seems to run a little longer on the first startup, about 30 seconds, then when you restart it, it runs for about 10 seconds and shuts down. It doesn't sputter, just shuts down as if you turned the ignition off.
Center of carb is the main jet. You will need a small wire to run up the jet until you can see the wire inside the carb. You can try compressed air or using the hose on carb cleaner can and forcing anything that may be lodged in main jet out.
Is the main jet typically brass color, which is screwed into the body of the carb?
Bad thing about Honda carbs is you can buy them new so cheap, cause they have a tendency to not be able to be cleaned well.
I took the jet out and cleaned, but I did not see anything blocking it.
Try and see if you can use carb cleaner and keep the machine running if you are manually putting fuel into it.
I sprayed carb cleaner into the intake as it was running several times, but the engine eventually stopped. I will try it again in the morning.
Okay. If you can spray small amounts at a time and keep it running, the issue is carb or fuel flow related. If it still dies, the issue lies elsewhere.
The engine didn't really run any longer when I was spraying the carb cleaner. It died the same way with or without the carb cleaner spray. I put in another new spark plug. Same results.
If it is not running any longer while you manually put fuel into the engine, the machine is losing spark for some reason. To the left of the oil fill spot, there should be a sensor. Unplug that sensor and see if machine will run longer.
If you mean the low oil sensor, I have already unplugged it and I get the same results. Is there any way I can check to see if the spark plug gets shut down when the engine cuts out? It acts like I shut the ignition off when the engine stops.
You will need an inline spark tester to test this since it starts right back up, but that is what I am thinking also, since it will not stay running when fuel is added manually.
Unfortunately, I do not have an inline tester, so I am off to the auto parts store. Does seem like the next logical test, or is there something else I should check on?
The only thing that will cause that machine to lose spark is the oil sensor, or the coil going bad. You can try cleaning the coil and re-gapping it with a business card before you buy a tester, just to see if the gap may have gotten off from vibrations.
If I unplug the oil sensor and the engine still shuts down, does that eliminate the oil sensor being bad and point to a coil issue?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, John. I will check the coil gap. I assume you mean where the plug wire connects to the center of the coil.
Gap is between the coil and the flywheel.
It appears I will need to remove at least the fuel tank and the front panel to get at the coil. It may get the inline spark tester and confirm whether or not I am getting spark first before getting involved in more disassembly. I will report back. Thanks again.
Keep me posted.
The inline spark tester shows the spark plug stops getting juice as the engine shuts down. Again, about 20 seconds runtime.
Did you try re-gapping coil?
I don't see how I can even get at the coil. I thought I would be able to take the fuel tank off the frame, but that doesn't appear to be feasible. Any ideas?
You will need to remove the starter cord assembly cover. Should be 4 to 6 10mm bolts.
I pulled the starter cord assembly cover. There is a nut holding the starter pulley, fan, and flywheel.
TE coil is next to the flywheel. Follow the plug wire to the coil. Flywheel doesn't need to be removed.
Okay. Looks like I need to remove the fan cover next to get to the coil. Be back soon.
Okay.
The fan cover is removed and now I can see the coil. Did you say the gap should be about the thickness of a business card?
Yes. Loosen the screw that hold the coil tight, and slide a business card between the coil and the flywheel magnets. The coil will pull up against the flywheel. Tighten the coil down. Hopefully this will work, as it is a lot of work to just tighten a coil.
John, I adjusted the coil gap with the flywheel and put everything back together. Started up and died about 20 seconds later. Can I assume I have a bad coil, or should I check something else?
Remove the kill wire from the coil and see if machine will run any longer. Should be a small wire that hooks to the coil and goes to ground or to the on and off switch. If it still dies in a matter of seconds, I would say replace the coil.
The coil has a wiring hardness with multiple wires bundled together with a coupler end. Not sure I can separate the kill wire from the bundle.
Aftermarket ignition coil will run $20-$30 on eBay or Amazon. http://www.ebay.com/in/ignition coil magneto parts Honda EB 7000 EG 4000 CL EG 5000 CL EG 6500 CL generator /26270114587 may search the internet and find a cheaper one.
Much cheaper than Honda. They want $64 for their coil. Thanks. John, I ordered the coil and will report back to you once I have it installed. Thanks again for your assistance.
Not a problem. Let me know if you need anything else, as I am here for you. Please remember to rate me as I strive to do my best. Your rating helps me to achieve this.
John, I replaced the coil and it's still cut out after about half-minute running. Any other suggestions? Thanks, John.
Have you already checked the oil sensor and tried to disconnect it and run it? It's been a while, so I need a refresher.
That was one of the first things we tried. I disconnected it and it acts the same. I have not replaced the spark plug cap yet because I checked the resistance using a tester and it appears to be in proper range. I noticed that when I start it cold, it runs about half-minute. When I restart it after the first run, it only runs about 10 seconds.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.